Doing a little bit of DIY yourself is great. It's a good thing to do, especially in the world right now. We really need to do things to keep busy. We're at home a lot, but there are things that are really easy to do, where you can get in over your head, or you start to make the wrong choices. So it can get a little muddy into what's good to do yourself and what is good to hire a designer for. And when I say get it over your head, there are so many options. I think there are probably hundreds of oil rubbed bronze colors for every different manufacturer. There's a different flavor for every manufacturer. And, it's really easy to pick something from, for instance, a faucet from Moen, and handle cabinet hardware from another manufacturer, and they just don't match. So it's really easy to do things like that. Again, stainless steel, every manufacturer has a different color stainless steel. Although it can be a little bit easier to match, there are kind of big problems if you don't match it and things are right next to each other. Um, and then, getting in over your head and selecting things like tile. I've seen people select tile for their bathrooms, for their floors, and whoops, it's not meant for floors, and it's really slippery and can be very dangerous. So there are things that you really should do, or really should get advice from a designer before you just go ahead and make those decisions on your own. There are ways to miss opportunities to make your project beautiful. There are a lot of places that we know about that maybe you don't know about, or a lot of places that you can get really beautiful things for the same price that you would get at a big box store, because people tend to think those big box stores mean less expensive than some stores that a designer would send you to, but that's not true. I can walk you through our process, but I think a big thing that we help with is the design advice. And that is, you may pick a lot of things that you really love. You went to 4 different stores and you picked all these things for your kitchen, let's say, and you love each piece. And then you put it all together and it's just overwhelming. There's too many things, there's too much. And I think that, one thing that we really do well, or we like to say that we do well because we're professionally trained to do so, is to pick things and know how they're going to look together. And we like to think of it as the old Coco Chanel quote: "Before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take one thing off." You don't want to have all of these things that you've chosen that have a lot of embellishments, or are kind of big eye-catching items, and you put them all together and you're like, well, maybe I should have picked something a little more subtle for, the tile or for the sink. So I think that our advice is a really good thing that is, it's an investment. Um, um, so when we first start out, what we like to say is, send us your house boards, send us pictures or magazine clip outs of things that you like, things that caught your eye, and then we can take a look at those, and we put together things called mood boards. And mood boards basically show you an idea of a space. It might not be exactly what you end up with, but it's an idea of a kitchen sink, the tile, the countertop, the cabinets, kind of all on one blank white space to show what they'll look like together. And maybe you want 2 or 3 of those to choose from, and you can narrow it down to one. And once you've approved that mood board, then we can put together a selection sheet for you. And that's basically putting together everything that's going to go in that kitchen: the quantity, the price of it, where you're getting it from. And it's really great because then your contractor can then just take that shopping with them. And it's not a hassle of, hey, what did you want again? What's this called again? What sink did you choose again? So it's all there. It's very convenient. And then also, each room can be separated by trade, so that your contractor can say, here's a sheet for all the plumbing fixtures, here's a sheet for all the light fixtures. So that can be very helpful as well. And then we also like to point out the pros and cons of each product. So you might use our surfaces in a way that you say, here's these 3 light fixtures, I really like all 3 of them, what do you think? And it might not be an aesthetic choice that we're choosing. It might be, this light fixture has halogen bulbs and they're gonna burn out. You're gonna need to replace them. Oh, and then it's this light fixture has LED bulbs, and this light fixture also has LED bulbs, but the bulbs aren't readily available all the time. So, it's something that we really like to to tell you exactly about each product you're choosing and what's going to be best for your lifestyle and things that, if you don't want to go and pick out light bulbs every couple of months when they burn out, then LED probably is best for you. Or if you are designing your kitchen and you like to do a lot of cooking and you're not really careful when it comes to spills and it's not a show kitchen, maybe marble countertops aren't the best for you. I know they look really pretty, but man, those red wine stains are really going to leave some damage. So yeah, I think that our expertise is basically what you're really paying for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pros are really, it's great for small items. If you're going to the big box store and you want to just change out your cabinet hardware, you can probably get a lot for what you're looking for and probably at a less expensive price. And you might go to a store that a designer sent you to and they might not have it in stock and you might have to have it ordered. So that's something, it's a quick fix. It's an easy thing for something small like that. It's great for if you just want to update your appliances. Um, it's great for if you just want to update the paint color. But really, if you're doing something big as a whole, I don't think it's really great to shop around a big box store to find every little thing for, let's say, a kitchen renovation. And as far as the cons go, I think that again, it's really hard for some people to think about the way that they're walking around a space and every little detail of a big box store. If you're walking around Lowe's or Home Depot, the lighting is not the same lighting that's in your kitchen. And so you're picking these things and they might not look the same as they will in your kitchen. So then you take these samples home that you just bought a bunch of stuff for and you're like, oh, well, this looks a lot bluer than I thought it would. Another thing is that you're also looking at things like what we like to say is if you're looking at something, for instance, and you can't see my hands, but if you have a countertop, you're going to be looking at the countertop like this. You're not going to be holding it up and looking at like this. Or a paint color, you want to look at it horizontally, or I'm sorry, vertically and not horizontally. So you really want to look at things and pick things in the orientation. And that's not something that some people really think about when they're picking those items in those stores. Yeah, well, they can give us a call. That's certainly an option. Our phone number at Studio Z is 734-394-9400, or they can go to our website. There's a lot of great content on our website. Look through our blog posts. You can fill out the form to contact us. And also, we're hopefully going to be having an interior design checklist up, so you can take a look at that as well.